Have you ever heard of La Bête du Gévaudan? When I was 12, my family took a summer trip to a small village in the French countryside. My uncle Pierre lived there in a centuries-old stone house that creaked with history. It was a quiet, picturesque place, the kind you see on postcards, but there was something about it that felt kinda heavy, like the weight of too many forgotten stories hung in the air. One evening, after dinner, Uncle Pierre lit a pipe and leaned back in his chair by the fireplace. He loved telling us tales of the region, with ghosts and cursed springs in it, the kind of stories that made kids shiver and beg for more. That night, he looked at me with a twinkle in his eye and said, "Have you heard of the Bête du Gévaudan?" Of course, I hadn't. He explained that in the mid-1700s, a monstrous creature terrorized the region. They called it a wolf, but no one really knew what it was. It was massive, larger than any wolf ever seen, with reddish fur and a jaw filled with jagged teeth. Some said it walked on two legs, like a man pretending to be a beast. Others swore it had glowing eyes and could vanish into the shadows, no matter how many hunters pursued it. Over 3 years, it killed dozens of people, mostly women and children, leaving behind mangled bodies that no one could bear to look at. The king himself sent soldiers to hunt it, but they returned empty-handed, claiming they had seen things they couldn't explain. Of course, Uncle Pierre said, puffing on his pipe, the official story is that they killed the beast. A hunter named Jean Chastel supposedly shot it with a silver bullet, and it was buried in secret. But here in Gévaudan, we know. I leaned forward, my curiosity piqued. "What do you mean?" I said. Uncle Pierre lowered his voice. "They didn't kill it. You can't kill something that was never alive in the first place." He went on to explain that the villagers believed the Bête wasn't a wolf at all, but a curse. Something summoned by a local nobleman who dabbled in dark rituals. They said he made a pact with something he couldn't control, and when he died, the creature escaped, bound to the land but free to roam. "What happened to it?" "Just. That's the thing," he said, his eyes flicking to the darkened window. "It seems it never really left it. Every few decades, when the moon is full, the wind smells like blood. Then, people say they see it again. A shadow slipping through the trees, a low growl that vibrates in your chest. And sometimes, there are disappearances." He let the words hang in the air, the firelight flickering against the stone walls. I laughed nervously, brushing it off as a ghost story. But that night, as I lay in bed, I couldn't sleep. The wind howled outside and I swore I could hear something scratching at the shutters. The next morning, I found claw marks on the wooden frame. Uncle Pierre said it was probably a stray dog, as there were a lot of them in the area, looking for something to eat, but the look in his eyes told me he didn't believe that. We left a week later, but I never forgot that story or the marks on the window. And now, every time I hear about hikers disappearing in the French countryside, I wonder if the Bête du Gévaudan has come back.